Hey folks, welcome back to Funniest People You've Never Heard of. I'm your host, Peter. This is Todd.
Hey everyone.
Today we have a great guest, YouTuber and podcaster extraordinaire, the very funny comedian, Jason Horton. Jason was fantastic. What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, no, he was great. And a special thanks to Jason because he came in last minute for us. We had a guest who got sick this morning. Jason was not just sitting there doing nothing in the middle of the afternoon, but somehow he was available. So Jason, we really appreciate you coming in and being available. And he's a friend of the pod, so we knew we could count on him, and he was great. It was cool to talk about Jason's podcast, Ghost Town,
yeah.
And hear about some Janis Joplin ghost stories, and that her last meal was at Barney's Beanery in West Hollywood. Somehow that doesn't seem like it's true, but...
That's weird. That's like when you find out that like Picasso was alive in like, I don't know, the 70s or
right,
something.
that
You know
his last meal was at Chipotle or something.
Picasso was eating with Janis Joplin and then a bunch of dogs playing poker.
Right.
Yeah, and that painting is real.
Yeah, she should have like a little booth in the back of Barney's Beanery, like the Joplin corner, or like the Janis Joplin chicken quesadilla, or whatever her last meal was.
If you die on the same night that you eat somewhere, you should have a meal named after you.
Yeah, that's why Subway has the Mama Cass ham sandwich.
Sharon Tate, her last meal was at El Coyote.
Oh, really?
And
that feels more Hollywoody, old school. That makes sense.
If you go to El Coyote, it's a legendary Mexican restaurant here in Los Angeles. They have a booth dedicated to her.
Oh, they do.
Let's get some Janis Joplin stuff in the Barney's Beanery, honestly.
Yeah, now I'm just hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
What would your not what would your last meal be, but if someday in 50 years, 20 years depending, when we're talking about good old Peter Murphy, what would you want us to be like? Oh, Peter, his last meal was at.
I'd like it to be breakfast at home. But, if I'm eating out somewhere, it's a buffet that I closed down and I ate 64 ounces of steak.
You got your money's worth.
Yeah, got to get your money's worth. Hey, and you know what? No place better to get your money's worth than our sponsor for this season. Todd, take it away.
Yeah, we got to say thank you to our sponsor, repping their merchandise right now, Bamco. Bamco creates amazing merchandise for your brand, whether it's for customers, for clients, just to go promote yourself. You got to go to bamco.net, check them out. They have amazing options on there at a great price. And we have our hoodies from there. Those are on sale now, so find it on Instagram. And we have these hats, and they make us look good. So thank you to bamco.net.
Love Bamco. Love that you're listening and watching Funniest People You've Never Heard of. If you want more of this podcast, find us online on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But also, we're on Patreon. Search for us on Patreon for exclusive content there. Thanks so much for joining us today. Strap in, get ready, and check behind yourself for ghosts, because here comes host of Ghost Town, Jason Horton.
Let's go to Barney's.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm chicken tenders.
I missed an open mic to be here. I canceled on an open microphone to be here. You know what I mean?
Wow. And there's the microphone right here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit us with some of these new jokes.
This one doesn't cost $5. This one doesn't cost. It doesn't cost me, right? Does it cost $5?
No, but Todd loves to give feedback. So if you're looking for
no, and it's so yeah.
Can I live in your place?
You want to live in?
Hey, folks, welcome back to the show. It's Funniest People You've Never Heard of. Today we have a fantastic guest, comedian, podcaster extraordinaire, and absolute LA legend, the one and only Jason Horton. Jason, how are you, sir?
I'm well. I know it's very unique. Comedian and a podcaster?
It's never been done.
That's weird.
Really a triple threat.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous territory, but
comedian, podcaster,
writer, and actor.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I'm literally anything.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Literally anything.
I'll sit on my phone. I'll look at my phone. I'll scroll through my phone. I'll write. I'll scroll through my phone. I'll podcast.
You do this great podcast, Ghost Town?
Ghost Town.
Yeah, with Rebecca Lieb.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that podcast, because I'm super into the supernatural. In fact, I had coffee this morning with a friend, and she saw a ghost while we were there.
Interesting. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you all about it. But explain your podcast and
So
tell
I've
everyone
been
about
podcasting for a while, and I've done a bunch of podcasting, maybe since 2011. I've done ones
Wow.
like what we're doing here right now. And then I took everything I learned from being like a YouTuber, which is my past life, and kind of navigating through all that, and then being a podcaster. And then I was like, what can I do that I really like, that'll have some longevity, and I think other people will like? And then myself and co-host and producer Rebecca Lieb, she's, would give ghost tours, and I was really into weird dark history and like cultural stuff. So I was like, let's put that together and make a podcast that covers a lot of different things. It covers the supernatural, it covers haunted history, weird history, the paranormal, a lot of true crime.
Okay.
Which this is all so in 2018 we was like, let's do all that so we don't like make it too narrow. So eventually you can run out of crimes, you can run out of haunts, and so we made Ghost Town. We've been doing it 2 episodes a week since 2018.
Wow.
That's a ton.
That's a lot. That's awesome.
I couldn't imagine having to see Peter that often.
Yeah, well, what we kind of built in is there's no guests.
Oh, right.
Because, if
Right.
you're reliant on guests.
Yeah, sometimes
things-
guests can cancel last minute.
Yeah, and some can show up last minute, too.
That's
It's
true.
Weird. It's
and
weird how that
you know
can
what?
happen.
Both are, one's more valuable than the other. Being
Yeah.
reliable is more valuable than anything.
And the people that show up last minute are very busy people. It's not like they were just sitting around waiting for your call.
Or scrolling on their phone.
We're not
Right.
definitely not scrolling on their phones at all. Wearing their readers. I'm wearing my readers.
So you're doing 2 episodes a week since 2018. And so after all those episodes, has your opinion on the supernatural shifted at all?
I've had my own experiences.
Hit me with it. What is it? Was it like a Dan Aykroyd Ghostbuster situation?
No, but I'm on a couple of History Channel shows, and Dan Aykroyd's the host of one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Does
a
he
lot
talk about the ghost blowjob?
I don't know if he goes into that
Okay.
specifically, but I've done. Yeah, and Rebecca also. We've been on. History's Greatest Mysteries, History's Greatest Haunts, a bunch of stuff that we are like, I guess, like experts on.
Yeah.
He really is a true fan of that stuff. I'm a skeptic.
Yeah.
And
still
still a skeptic despite my experiences, because I have to be, because if I allow myself to be too open to it, then anything could be a haunt. Anything could be the paranormal, and I don't want to be that way. So I have to remain skeptical and kind of stay in the middle of it, although I've had my own experiences.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me one of these experiences you've had.
We've done a few special episodes. It'd be special 3-part episodes, and one was at the hotel where Janis Joplin died. And when we were there, we were setting up. We had a medium come in, and so before that, I went in there totally just like we're at a hotel. It's a hotel in Hollywood, like on Franklin, not in Hollywood, not far from where
Less than 5 miles from here.
Less than 5 miles.
Where we're
from
recording
here.
right now.
And so I'm in there, and we're just getting ready, and I just was just overcome with the sense of dread, like a huge sense of dread, and I was crawling out of my skin. I was like, I need to take a shower. This is weird, and I'm not normally like, I'm gonna sit here and take a shower.
So it's just like the vibe, the energy. There's just something.
I was absolutely overwhelmed, and we were just like not even in. We're like eating the snacks. We're like, oh, we're gonna go to Barney's Beanery afterwards because that's the last meal she had before.
At Barney's Beanery?
At Barney's Beanery.
No way.
No.
She had like chicken wings and stuff? In the West Hollywood
Something
one's
about
pretty
that
old.
sound-
It was the way it was.
Janis Joplin?
Yeah, it was the West Hollywood one. Yeah.
Okay, so time out. That's wild. And but you're planning this out, and you're feeling this overwhelming, like you feel an emotional shift, and it's drastic.
Yes.
Did you feel dread because like you don't like her music?
No,
or-
I love her music.
Okay,
I don't.
great.
I honestly don't know why. And then once like the medium came, once all like the spooky stuff was happening, I was totally fine. It was just this isolated incident that just absolutely overwhelmed me.
Really?
Yeah.
And you felt like it was Janis Joplin saying, "Don't dig too much," or it was Janis Joplin saying,
Don't eat the chicken tenders.
"That's Barney's."
She may have had a app sampler. She might have had a sampler platter or something like that. I don't know.
I was bullied growing up. Yeah, even a Hollywood bad boy like me. Can you believe it? Even an outlaw like me. I was called gay, which is classic bullying. And greatest hits of bullying, maybe. Then I got to high school, I got a girlfriend. They're like, you're gay. I was like, but I have a girlfriend. They're like, she's gay too. I'm like, fair enough. You got me, boys. Were they 100% wrong? I don't know. Who's to say? I know, you guys are liking the edgy stuff. We'll go back to the edgy stuff. I'm gonna get into my sex material as you're eating. Right as you're eating, I'm gonna ease into my sex stuff. Look out. I have had sex before, by the way. I just need to feel like I put that. I've done it. I've had sex. My favorite position is front. I've done front. I've rocked front, right here. I have another, I guess it's my kink. It's called the reverse mortgage, where I have sex in a house I wish I owned. Little real estate humor. Tiny bit of real estate humor coming your way.
Okay, so Jason, we got to get into this. So you are you're not an LA native, are you?
No, but I've been here almost 20 years.
Yeah. You know the ins and outs of Los
Yeah.
Angeles. You've been here for some time now, a couple decades.
Don't put it like that. Don't put a couple of decades.
2 decades.
It's I mean, when I told someone, they're like, I've been here almost 20 years, they were like, you should be a lot further in whatever it is you're doing. It's very shocking. So let's say, make a decade.
You're on TV with Dan Aykroyd. What more do you want, pal?
Do I have Andy Dick's phone number in my phone? Yes, I do.
Really?
Was I on an Andy Dick talk show? Yes, I was.
Really?
Nice. I was, yeah.
In a time pre-pandemic, I think it started to clear up in 2018, but everybody in Los Angeles had an Andy Dick story. Everybody.
I have a few.
Less so now,
Yeah.
but Andy Dick was popping up everywhere and not welcome in most situations. So, this is like a Hollywood lore type of thing. What's your, and obviously Andy Dick, legend, Andy Dick show on MTV, Ben Stiller show.
Underrated.
News Radio? Was he on News Radio?
Yeah.
News
Radio.
Right, yeah.
The Andy Dick show was great. He's great, underrated, very tragic. Very sad. I did improv with his son,
Oh, wow.
which is kind of random. Really nice
Harry.
dude, funny
So,
dude.
okay, so what's your Andy Dick story? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And how did you come to get his phone number?
I knew him through. I performed and used to teach and coach at iOS
Yeah.
improv
R.I.P.
theater. It's where I kind of done most of my comedy stuff, I guess, UCB, whatever. So I knew him through there.
Okay.
And there was he had the Andy Dick Theater. It was
So
one of
yeah, the
theaters.
Dick Box is what
Dick
it was
Box,
called.
yeah.
It was so basically. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he, I guess, donated a lot of money to get this theater up to code or painted or whatever, to create the stage and stuff like that. And it was either with the intention of it being named after him or Sharna Halpern, who was running IO. In Chicago and LA at the time, she named it after him, and it became famously the Dick Box Theater.
I just knew him through there, and then I don't know, I was a kind of a YouTube personality for a while, and he had some kind of internet something a lot like this.
But did you ever get to perform with him or anything like that?
I don't think so. I've got to perform with a lot of interesting people though. I did a cage match with Jordan Peele.
Oh, nice.
wow.
I lost that
That's
one.
okay, though.
I
No
lost
shame in
that
that.
one. I lost that one big time.
Was he already a known?
Yeah, the Key and Peele show
personality?
was going
Yeah.
on.
Right.
It was that era.
You're
you know what I
you're
mean?
gonna bring in this guy? Come
Yeah,
on,
it was,
that's
and
not fair.
it
The
was
guy from
kind
the
of-
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
I was not even.
That's
didn't
like
not
letting
even have
Shohei play in a little league game.
No, it's just the guy who's in a YouTube video. I ate too many cheeseburgers. It was like that kind of thing. I just
Classic.
remember sitting there, being there, right in front of him, and I was just like, I remember thinking, I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no one's gonna be on my side for this. But I was just excited to be on stage with, I've got to be on stage with some pretty cool people. I used to see Robin Williams would drop in. I see him at UCB all the time. I'd be in the green room, doing I was doing a sketch thing. It was like a sketch thing. But before that, there was some improv. I don't know. We were just in the back of the green room at UCB, and it was just standing there hanging out with Robin Williams, which was really, and even when I was standing there, I was like, this is weird, but cool.
Yeah.
You're in it's like rare air, you know what I mean? You're in the presence of greatness, but he's not, he just I just want to just drop in.
Yep.
And we, you see in stand up all the time, great people will just drop in a tiny room, and they're just I just want to be able to do this thing. And it's really, it's all really, really cool. And it's all part of I don't know, becomes like kind of who you are in a way, all these little things.
So wait, so I want to get, you ended up there because, you were really heavy on YouTube and you were, producing stuff there. What was 2011 YouTube like? And did you ever go to the YouTube space over in Santa Monica and get to work over there?
I did so much over there. It was such a great experience for me because I was one of those people like a character actor. It was like, I don't know your name, but I've seen you in a lot of stuff. And I would be in a lot of other people's videos because I was an actor and an improviser and I was a little bit older. So I could be like a convincing dad or teacher or authoritarian
That's
type.
great.
So
that's very rare. That's so amazing because usually, people you collaborate with are within, your age group, or you're saying, you're a little older. It's always interesting to have somebody appropriately cast or to have like a baby. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like a real baby.
I was a unicorn in that sense, but it was great. I mean, I went to YouTube London and worked out of there.
Wow.
I went to Zurich to like I did so many. I did the Jimmy Kimmel show. It was like weird. It was like a lot of us.
Yeah.
This sketch on the Jimmy Kimmel show, but it just afforded a lot. We did, a lot of brand deals and collaborations and got to work with like a lot of really cool people. And it was a very intense time for a couple of years. And fortunately, I was like not so popular that it ruined my life. Some people, they did not handle the downward part of it because what goes up must come down. And I think a YouTube bubble burst in about 2016. I think for a lot of people, and a lot of people did not handle not being famous well.
Really?
And I never, it was kind of like a bummer for a little bit, but then I found podcasting again, and I found doing stand-up and stuff like that. It hurt me a little bit too, but luckily, it didn't impact my life so much that I didn't know how to function. And I also, when I moved to Los Angeles, I was in my 30s already. So I already had a good sense of self.
Right.
Always growing, but still a good sense of self, where a lot of people were like, I'm 23 and really popular on YouTube and this is going to last forever. Right. And you go to those VidCons every year, and the people that are like super, super popular, you go there the next year, they're not super, super popular. It's somebody else. And it's hard to try to, and with everything, you got to take the ups with the downs, with what we're doing, with anybody's doing.
What happened in 2016 that forced this bubble to burst, you think?
I feel like sketch comedy was too expensive to produce. Nobody cared that much. Everyone was trying to parlay it into movies. Like, you do like some weird movie that would end up on like Netflix or some kind of streaming thing. And things like, vlogging became more and more popular. Like, watch me unbox this. Watch me put on makeup. It's all great stuff.
So you're saying like YouTube in 2016, YouTube became more reality show.
I think it was
with the unboxing and the
because you can have longer content. A sketch, how long can a sketch be? You know what I mean? It used to be like a sketch is like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Yeah. So you'd have like these 17-minute videos where somebody's like, "We're having a baby. Follow us on our baby journey." And if it's family friendly, the payout is really good. It's a lot of watch time.
Okay.
So there's a lot of benefits. And when you're doing sketch comedy, you know what I mean? You can get a little bit dicey. The advertisers don't pay as well. So it's a combination of that, and it's just more rewarding. And people put up like a vlog every single day, like watch us raise our kid or whatever it is.
Was there something from the early era from like 2011 to 2016 that you were part of that you were particularly proud of? Like one video.
I was in a group called
series?
Totally Sketch. That was loved what we did, and we did a lot of really cool stuff. Got a lot of views, and I got to kind of be a version of myself, which is not that different than the version you'd see on stage or anything I do right now, which has made it kind of easy for me. Like I've it's just myself in a different medium, and hopefully with a little bit of growth and stuff like that.
Was there like a sketch that stands out to you that you helped write or were part of or anything?
I mean, I remember doing a lot of sketches. Do you know? I don't know if if you watch, Righteous Gemstones or Tony Cavallero. We did. I was just looking back at he's so great, and he's obviously he's so funny and such a great guy. I'd watch some of the stuff that we did together, and we made each other laugh so much that we would like be holding up production, that we'd have to film things where the other person would have to leave the room, and we'd have to do the over like whatever, like my point of view, to like a wall, because we were making each other laugh so much.
Oh man, that's fun.
And it's just like I look back at things like that, and I was like, how much fun? It probably wasn't fun for the people like working on it. They're like, we got it was YouTube was paying for it, or whoever was paying for it. I don't know who was. Somebody else was paying for it.
The heightened on camera, on stage version of you is just someone who wastes everyone's time.
Yeah, well, I was like an out of touch, bad with women, but also wasting everyone's time. It was just like a version
But
of
laughing and having a heck of a time.
It was so fun and so funny, and I just really just look back fondly on a lot of that. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. I did a lot. It was a lot of stuff. Some stuff was a little bit, kind of like edgy, but I wasn't edgy. You know what I mean? Like I was always kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I'm a weekend dad, or like I don't know how to talk to women.
Those are your favorite characters. To
It's the
play
same thing I
weekend
do
dad?
on stage. Like it's just kind of like I don't get what's going on here. I'm a narc.
People love to tell me what celebrities I remind them of. They love it, and it is never positive. They can't wait to tell me, though. They cannot wait to tell me Woody Allen's. I get a lot of Woody Allen's. No, don't. See, that's not. Could not wait. Like, I cannot wait to tell this guy he's Woody Allen. Like, when's my opportunity? Oh, good, right away.
The Dad and Meet Pockers.
Okay, that's good.
What about you?
It's not a focus group. We're not doing a focus group. We're not trying to rebuild my brand here, everybody. I appreciate it, but that's not what we're here for. But thank you very much.
How we doing?
Great.
That's my crowd work. That's it. So I'm done. That's my crowd work. Yeah, I'm the bad boy. Don't sit in the front row, okay? You're in the splash zone. You're in big trouble, okay? Dangers. I'm a maverick. Controversial.
What's your priority career-wise? Is it more like creating content? Is it stand-up? Do you feel like you're doing it all equally, or is there?
Because of Ghost Town, Rebecca and I are doing a lot of really cool things right now because of the podcast.
Yeah, cool.
On a large scale, or what we think is going to be a large scale, or we're told is going to be a large scale. So I think that's really great.
Like creating like a TV show out of it type thing, potentially, or something like that? Knock on wood, or fingers
can't
crossed,
say.
whatever. Cool.
Sure, you
I
can't
can't
say. Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know,
All right,
have me
great.
back on
Well,
in a
I'll
few months. Maybe I can say.
I'll call up Dan Aykroyd. I'll call up Danny. See what he's doing. See
So
what he can say.
we're excited about a lot of things. But I mean, yeah, and auditioning and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, stand up is just, it's such a like staying in. And I like that. Unlike improv, where you have to rely on 4, 5, 6, 7 other people, this is just you, and the ownership is just on you to do it. I really like that independent. Like I can take this one-man show somewhere and put it up. So stand up is almost an everyday kind of thing. But then there's other things like career-wise that are making the money that are always kind of going, but that's not on a day-to-day thing. And if I just sat there and was like, when is the phone gonna ring? I would drive myself mad. So I always like to keep it really, do a lot of diverse a lot of diversity. So this way, if something is kind of cooling off, something else is percolating.
Yeah, you talk about how involved you were in YouTube in those years that we were discussing. But what creative outlets do you have now? Are you still creating YouTube videos that people can find, or is that going into something else?
I try to put up some stuff on Instagram, whether it's clips, or I do this thing called The Pitch, where I take movies and TV shows that are, looking back, I was like, that was a little bit problematic. I was like, that's weird that this came out. And I do the pitch meeting.
Like what?
The movie Blank Check.
Oh.
1994's Blank Check.
Okay. A kid finds a blank check and is rich suddenly, right?
Yeah.
It's like a Richie Rich type of thing.
Yeah.
And you're saying you couldn't do that today?
There's the relationship between the kid and the undercover FBI agent, and the age disparity between them.
I'm calling it Blank Check. A kid who gets his hands on a blank check and buys a bunch of stuff with it. Loving it so far? Who do you see in it? Ryan Bonsall plays Preston, an 11-year-old little troublemaker. And Karen Duffy plays Shay, a 33-year-old undercover FBI agent. Oh, and before you ask, yeah, there's romance. Between who? Them. Say more. At the end, Preston finds out that Shay was undercover the whole time and feels betrayed. But she says how much she really likes him and to look her up when he gets older. That's good? No, it's great. They negotiate that in 6 years he'll look her up when he's 17 and she's 40. And then they hug and go their separate ways, right? Wrong. She kisses him. On the cheek. Lips. Right on the lips. Directly on the lips. Hey, what can I say? It's the 90s, baby. Looks like we'll be giving you a blank check. Really? No, it'll be a set amount. It's just a movie. Right.
That was weird. So the movie Never Been Kissed. She's playing a high school student, and her teacher is there. Obviously, there's a connection. And then when he finds out she's an adult just like him, he's like, Nah. He's like, I'm good.
Well, she lied to him.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be relieved that you're not a child?
Yeah, it's
He
like
looks
that.
like really disappointed. He's like, you lied to me.
I mean, yeah, he should be relieved. When you were a high schooler, do you think you could have picked out like a Never Been Kissed or a Johnny Depp undercover scenario?
Oh, undercover. I'd like
What's
to think
that movie
I
I'm
could. 'Cause
thinking of?
21 Jump
21
Street.
Jump Street, yeah.
I like to think.
Do you think
I'd
were
like
you
to think-
observant enough to have been able to like, there's something fishy here?
You know, I've always had Narc vibes. You know, and I'd like to think that I could. But I also like would want to be friend. You know what I mean? Like I
Weekend
was in no
Dad
position.
Narc.
I
That's you.
couldn't. I wasn't in a position to like not. I was not in a position to not have friends. So I probably would be pretty accepting towards anyone. Like,
So
hey,
it goes
fellas,
into your diary. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, diary, I think this new kid is a cop, but I'm gonna be friends with him.
But he said he wanted to hang out and play Nintendo with me, so I don't want to isolate any potential friends.
And he's bringing over wine coolers.
I didn't have my first drink until I was 33.
Wow.
Seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the story there?
Why?
Straight edge.
Really?
Yeah. Not religion based. I just did not. And then I moved to Los Angeles, and I was like, I can't do improv and be in Los Angeles and not drink. So I drank for a very short amount of time when I was dating and stuff like that. I really don't drink now.
And now
again.
back to not drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can be 83 years old and look like this. You know what I mean?
I know, you look great, man. Two quick things before we leave. Number one, tell people where they can find your podcast and find you online.
You could find Ghost Town wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can find me on Instagram at the Jason Horton.
The Jason Horton. Now, Jason, at the end of every show, we ask our guests to refer someone funny that you think should be on this podcast. Who do you think we should have on as a guest? Who would you recommend?
I have to shout out someone I have had a rivalry with.
Whoa!
But we're also very close friends. Stephen Cha.
Okay.
Hilarious comedian, very funny, great guy, and also my biggest rival. I'm trying to keep, you know what I mean? You got to keep
You're
things.
stirring the
Yeah,
pot.
gotta have some
Yeah,
heat.
yeah. I'm hoping he slips up, and then I'm like, gotcha.
Jason, what a great guy you are. All right, well, Jason, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And folks, thanks for watching and listening. We've got more over on our Patreon. Make sure to check that out. And see you next time on the next episode of Funniest People You Never Heard of. Bye. Funniest People You've Never Heard of is a production of Toby or Not Toby Productions. Executive producer, Todd Fields. Producer and host, Peter Murphy. Studio space provided by Third Wheel. Theme song written and performed by Justin Fields. Sponsored by Bamco, more than just merch. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and find us on Patreon for exclusive content.